Hi, welcome. It's Grandma Roseanne, and we are going to make an Asian beef broccoli. I want to say dinner, but cameraman and I are going to have it for lunch. Anyway, the difference here from what you normally have is that we're going to use ground beef. I've never really seen it done with ground beef, but I've tried the recipe out and it was superb. So we're going to do that. So I have got a pan that's heating up here, and I'm going to put in about 1 tablespoon of olive oil, just like that. We're going to let that heat up just a little bit, and then I'm going to be adding some onion to it. I'm going to let the onion saute a little bit. Then we're going to add the garlic, and you know never add the garlic before the onion, all right? So here we are. They're going in, and they're going on the floor too. So we're going to let that just cook up for a little bit. And you'll see when they're right, when they start wilting and they start getting soft, and that's all you're looking for. You're not looking for it to be golden. You're just looking for the raw taste of the onion to be gone. And that doesn't take but just a couple of minutes to have that happen. And what I used here was 1 cup of onion that I diced relatively small. All right, now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. You hear that nice sizzle? I love that nice sizzle. And to this, we are going to add 1.5 pounds of ground beef. We want to mix that up nicely. I love my little meat masher here. I think it does such a good job. And you'll want to adjust your heat because you do want it to, to be nice and cook through, but you don't want it to be at such a high heat that you're actually, crisping up the ground beef. You don't want that. You just want it nice and evenly browned. So while this is browning up nicely, which it is, and it's doing it on a moderate heat, what we're going to do is we're going to start making the seasoning that's going to go into this. So I want you to see what we're going to be using. We need oyster sauce, soy sauce, honey, and seasoned rice vinegar. And we're also going to use sesame oil, but the sesame oil is going to be off to the side, because we're going to do that at the end. I think for me, it's really much easier when I have everything out. I think it goes much faster. And if I miss something, an ingredient, because I've used them all, I went, whoa, why is the honey still here? I know that I missed it. Now I can incorporate it before I have a problem. So we have our beef going, and we want 1.5 tablespoons of oyster sauce. I love oyster sauce. 1.5. And then 2 tablespoons of soy. One tablespoon of honey. 1. Those of you that watch the video know how much I hate stickies, so you know that this is a grand sacrifice that I'm making right now, because this makes me crazy. Get up there. And 1/2 teaspoon of rice vinegar. There. Now, you see all of our ingredients are to the side. We know we missed nothing. So now we can move back over to our stove. Do you see how nice? Come and look at this. See how nice it's browning? So nicely. We've got so many good ingredients that are going to be going into this dish. You guys, you're gonna love this. All right, now we're going to incorporate the ginger and some jalapeno. The ginger is 1 tablespoon, and the jalapeno was just about 1/4 of a slice of a decent sized jalapeno. It's probably about, well, actually, let me measure it. I know you guys like measurements. 2 teaspoons. Now we want this to cook because that ginger can be pretty strong when it's raw. And the jalapeno, if you are not used to using jalapeno and you think, oh my gosh, that's gonna be so hot we won't be able to eat it, it really isn't. I removed the veins, I removed the seeds, so it just gives it a really nice little flavor here, but it's not going to be hot. It won't be noticeable in your dish, but it would be noticeable if you skipped it, okay? So, there we go. Just all right, I think that has been enough. So we're going to just put it all together here. There. Now we've got that jalapeno, we've got the garlic, onion, ginger, and it smells really good. It does, it smells so good. I love it when I can make something like this, and I know cameraman's gonna love it. I know he will. I know he'll like that. So when you're cooking for someone and you know what their likes are and you know you can fulfill them, it's just gratifying. It really is. Now we need some beef broth. So I'm going to put in 1.5 cups. There you go. The broth, we're going to let that come up to temperature. I like to bring it up to like a soft boil, you know, a little bit more than the simmer. And while this is doing what it's doing, we're going to go ahead and make a slurry. Now a slurry is, the purpose of a slurry is to thicken your sauce. So that's really important, because we don't want it just liquidy in here. So this is going to be 1 tablespoon of water and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Now we're ready to add all our flavoring to this. To get all of it in there, every bit of it. And we are now going to also add 12 ounces of broccoli. We're going to let all of that cook together. What we did here is we added 1 pound of broccoli, and we're going to let all of this cook together. This will be ready as soon as that broccoli softens. So just give me a few minutes. Okay. All right, so our broccoli has cooked. It took about another maybe 5 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. So now the slurry is done. Be sure you mix it up really well if you have done it ahead of time. And then we're just going to pour that in. We're going to let that cook down. It'll just take a couple of minutes, and it'll immediately thicken this sauce. Do you see what happened there? How quick that happened? Get your sides in there so everything gets thickened. Do you guys hear, cameraman, I love it when I hear him. He's ready. Okay. This is done. So what we want to do now is get our rice in. Just like that. And then we want a nice portion of our beautiful, beautiful dinner lunch, and a little bit of that sauce in there as well. Just like that. Over this, we're going to put in a tiny little bit of sesame seed. Be careful, you don't want too much of that. Too much of a good thing, huh? Just a little bit. Oh, it's a new bottle. I've got to pull out the little thingy. Just a tiny little bit in there. And if you want to do just a little bit of chili flakes in there, it's not too hot, but it gives it a really nice little flavor. There. So all we have left to do is taste it. I've got some rice, some broccoli, some meat, and some sauce on this spoon. It should be perfect. And it is. Now, we're going to do something that we've never done before. Well, first of all, before I do that, subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button. Thumbs up if you liked it. Please try it. It's delicious. And any kind of comment, ingredients are going to be below, so you'll have that. But I want you to know how really good this is. So I'm going to take the camera, and I'm going to give this to cameraman, and he can tell you what it's like.
Let me test this. I love anything with ground beef in it. I absolutely love it. Oh, the flavors, Rosanna, perfect. Delicious.
It's a keeper?
It's not real powerful in any one flavor. They blend really nice. It's a keeper.
All right.
Hate to hit and run, but I'm going to have lunch.
Thank the people and say goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. And thumbs up, and we'll go from there.